Oh there, YouTube. I don't like the angle of that. I thought I had it good, but I don't. Oh there, YouTube. Hey, listen, starting this new channel out about how I got started on eBay and selling stuff in general and that sort of thing, and make it stop. Well, sorry about the poor lighting here. Anyway, I guess you could say that I could have got started a lot earlier in my life than I did. Back in, I think it was like 1985, 86, somewhere in there. I was talking to a friend of mine who, he was the son of an auctioneer, and we were at a party one night. It was actually the night that Marvin Hagler got beat by Sugar Ray Leonard, and I still don't think Hagler should have lost that fight. But anyway, we were all, guys are all sitting around talking. We're talking about what we're gonna do and everything. I think I was, I don't know, 19, something like that, and we were talking about what we were gonna do with our, as far as jobs and everything like that. And this guy was saying about how he was gonna be an auctioneer, and I'm not real bright. I said, well, is there any money in that? And he laughed, and he proceeded to explain how much money there was in that. And well, I thought that was pretty interesting. And he told me, he says, if you ever need any money, he says, just go to an auction. And I said, well, how do you go to an auction and get money if you're spending money to buy money, to buy stuff? And he says, no, you go to the auction. He says, you wait till the end of the auction. Now understand, this is mid 1980s. So you could go to an auction and you could buy box lots for, 50 cents or all that kind of stuff. And so he would, and that's basically what he told me to do. He says, just go there. He goes, wait till the end of the auction. They'll have box lots full of stuff. He says, all kinds of stuff that nobody, really wants to buy, as far as putting in the auction. And I said, what do you do with it? And he says, well, you have a yard sale. And I'm like, well, I'd never went to yard sales when I was a kid. My folks didn't go yard selling. We weren't yard sale kind of folks, and so yard selling to me was a completely foreign concept. I'd never done it. And so I didn't take his advice. I went out and got a job and did those, all that sort of stuff, and never really got anywhere. And then years and years and years and years later, I was married. It was probably 1987 or 1997, 98, somewhere in there. We had a bunch of junk at our house that we needed to get rid of. And my wife said, well, why don't we have a yard sale? I said, well, I don't think they'll let us have a yard sale here, and they wouldn't let us have a yard sale where we were at. So she took all of our stuff, took it down to our mom's house, and had a yard sale at our mom's house. And she made like $700 or something, some stupid amount of money off this stuff that I was just wanting to get rid of. So I learned something that day about yard selling, is that you could make a lot of money with stuff. The problem was getting stuff. So I started doing some flea markets and stuff like that, and I started going to yard sales and stopping at yard sales and stuff. And I was going to this one flea market, and this guy kept talking about eBay, and this was probably 1999, somewhere in there, and early, might have been 98. Anyway, and he was talking about eBay, and he was saying about, well, this thing. He's pointing to different stuff in my yard sale. He says, if you took that and put it on eBay, you'd make X amount of money. And if you these guys, you've seen them all. They can tell you everything that sells on eBay, and they can tell you all the prices that it goes for. And this was granted, this was a long time ago on eBay, so things were a lot different back then. But so anyway, I listened to him, and I got on the internet at home, and it was still dial up, and and I was I went to eBay, and I was looking at stuff, and I'm thinking, wow, and I had my stuff at this indoor flea market, so I kept the stuff there. And I'm looking, I said, well, I'll look up my Conan book. So I looked up my when I was a kid, I read Conan, the old Robert E. Howard Conan books. So, I had them in this yard sale at this flea market, and I don't know, it was cheap. I don't know, 50 cents a piece or something like that on them. And I looked them up, and here, Myconium books were selling in a lot for like a lot of, to me it was a lot of money. I mean, there was probably, I don't know, I had almost all of them from the original series, but I ended up selling them for like $75. You know, I ended up putting them on eBay and selling them for, you know, $75. And you know, that changed my ideas about selling stuff and about eBay and about yard selling, and it gave me a whole new perspective on stuff. And I started, you know, messing around with selling stuff on eBay, and I really didn't get too awful serious about it. I just, you know, sold a little bit here and there. And then Christmas time in 1999, I wrecked my van. And my van was, I had a delivery route, and things were going south anyway. Gas prices were, it's a good thing it worked out the way it did, but you know, I ended up wrecking my van. I didn't have money for another van, so I ended up having to give up that delivery route. And
yeah, buddy.
I thought, what am I gonna do? You know, no income, no money. So I started selling more stuff on eBay. I started going crazy, and I started going to auctions and flea markets. And we lived in this little place, and I was filling it up with stuff. I was just filling it. There was stuff everywhere that I was selling on eBay, and or trying to sell on eBay. And I did that for a long time. I did that. Well, I started like in '99, and this was like 2000 when I really started selling a lot. And I don't think they even had eBay stores back then, or they were just starting. But I ended up getting a store when they came out, and I was doing all right with that. And then they changed the way the stores were, and the store listings started, instead of having to run auctions and have people come to your store through the auction, they started putting the store listings right into the main listings. And as soon as they did it, I started selling stuff left and right. I mean, I was selling boatloads of stuff. It was really hard to keep up because I had a lot of stuff in my store, and people were able to find it. It made a huge difference, and that was fantastic. And I did that. I made enough money to buy my house, and so we bought our house in 2005. And shortly after that, something happened with the way they were doing things, and they changed searches, and then they ended up changing the fee structure, and basically pretty much put me out of business as far as selling on eBay goes. I mean, I could keep doing it a little bit, but I just I lost a lot of interest in it, and so I only did a few auctions, a few listings a month, if I even did that. I was making as much money doing eBay as I was with my 40-hour or 50-hour a week job. I was making just as much money, and I wasn't putting as much time in. I mean, if I'd have really put more time in, I probably would have done a lot better. But I didn't put as much time. I spent a lot of times with my kids when they were little. You know, they're all grown up now. My youngest one just turned 19, so they're all grown up now. But I got to spend a lot of time with him when he was 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up, and there till probably the last 5 years or so. But I still spend a lot of time with them, and with my girls too. I spent a lot of time, and we could do a lot of things together because of having that freedom that eBay gave to me. And it was really hard when I had to quit and give it up, for the most part. And I went to work at a couple of different places. I'm working right now, actually. I have a job where I can kind of sit here and do this, or I could have my computer here and I could be listed on eBay. I could actually be using Turbo Lister. It's no internet, but I could be using Turbo Lister to create auctions and stuff. So it's kind of a job that pays me to do eBay, to do my books and that sort of stuff. Even though that's not what I'm here for, I have a lot of free time while I'm here, just keeping an eye on things. So they don't mind at all if I do that, and that's what I do. so that's kind of my story, how I got started on eBay and how I got into the reselling thing. There was there've been a lot of people along the way who have helped me out a lot, who've taught me a lot, and I'm pretty thankful for them. But there's a lot of people right on eBay who are on eBay who go to YouTube and they tell their stories, and they help people to see what you can buy, what you can afford, what you can achieve with eBay, and mostly it just takes a good positive attitude. And you're gonna make mistakes. I mean, everybody made mistakes. I made a few, not horrendous ones. I didn't have the ability to really go horrendously, but I made some fantastic buys. I mean, so I made a lot more money than I ever lost on eBay. Although the losing part stinks, but it's just part of the way it goes. You learn from it, and you just move on. Don't focus too much on money lost. Focus more on learning how to make more money. Would be my advice. Learning the things you need to know to be successful selling on eBay. And I just really just got back into it back in the later part there, 2013. I used to be a power seller years ago, and but just a bronze power seller. I wasn't one of the real big guys, but I was a power seller for a few years. I'm not real big into titles, so it's not really that important to me to be a power seller. Right now, I just want to be a seller. So I'm doing my job, and I'm selling my stuff, and I guess that's all I have to say in this video. So just keep an eye out. If you see this video before I put other ones up, I'm gonna try to put other videos up trying to help explain some of the reasons why I bought stuff, what I plan to get for it. I'll tell stories about good things I bought in the past that I can't very well show you an item that I bought in 2002 and sold in 2002. So, but I have some good stories about a few good stories about a lot of things, and I'll share those with you as we go on. So, anyway, have a great day. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.